Now we walk closer on the higher way. Through the darkest night, will you hold my hands? Jesus, guide our ways. Oh, you mourn with us and you dance with us, for our heart of heart is bound to you. Though I walk through the valley slow, I will fear no evil. By the water still my soul, my heart will trust in you. Once again, people of Biafra, I will say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is still Radio Biafra, Human Rights, a platform that fights in the dark just to save the light, the very last defense outpost for the people of Biafra. I am George ONYIBE, and I hail from Agbo Anyoma Province, Delta State, Biafra land. And of course, there is nothing much to say, but to appeal to the conscience of our people, those who are still able to reason, so that they can be able to be on the guard. We are just watchmen, and we are not going anywhere. This very moment, I just want to give us a clear idea on what we should be expecting in the coming months. Because the life as you know it today is changing before our very eyes. And most of us are not even aware of this fact. But believe me, if we get it right, thousands of generations to come will talk about this day. If we fail it, they will still talk about us. But we have the privilege now to decide where to be in the end. Let's look at this morning and consider 3 important issues we need to be looking up to in a time like this, where there is a lot of criminal activities going on, manipulation, deception, and somewhere along the line, we will feel we can just walk past. We feel we can manage it. We feel we have the power to remedy the situation. But these are not true. The visions are very clear. They don't need interpretation. It requires a simple respect, mutual understanding from one to another to be able to pass this very junction. A lot of people, based on experience and exposure, based on connection and what they think they know, they feel they can be able to maneuver this process. But it's not going to be possible. We must go through the nook and cranny of this very kingdom we seek for. Or else, get ready, because the wandering in the wilderness may just have not even begun. 3 things I want Biafrans to pay attention to. There are people telling you, we are going to see the world have recognized Biafra. You can see Simeon Ekpa taking over from Nnamdi Kanu criminality, the same process that has kept us here, and many other criminals here to come out. But they are telling you, oh, Finland have recognized Biafra, and they are deceiving you on Facebook. Oh, who is Finland to recognize Biafra? Who is Finland? Most people even believe that somewhere along the line, Russia will help us get Biafra. But why would Russia do that? Which country of this world in a time like this will come forward and say, let us allow these people to be the way they were before we came? Honestly, I am yet to see that, because in the end, we ourselves are not even ready for what we ask for. 3 things we need to pay attention to. First of all, number 1, what Biafra is to all of us. If we lose sight of the truth behind the Biafra restoration project, not only will Biafrans be made miserably, frustrated people, but every other component member nation trapped in the concept, in the idea of one Nigeria, all of us will pay dearly for it, one way or the other. It doesn't matter who it looks like they are enjoying it at the moment. And I've heard many people say so many things. What is Biafra? Biafra is rubbish. Biafra is dead. You don't look for Biafra. We want one Nigeria, a better Nigeria with sincere leaders, and so on and so forth. And then we begin to wonder, from the creation of Nigeria, first of all, do we have sincere leader? I understand that Alhaji Shehu Shagari is not a corrupt man in that instance, but he's a lieutenant. And in their regime, being deputized by Alex Ekweme, we know what happened before the military took over power. I understand when Omar Odiko ruled Nigeria, he ran to London because they were excess money. He told the people in London, the owner of Nigeria, that he has a problem. And they asked him, what is the problem? He said, too much money. How did they advise him to make use of the money? He built Festac. We now celebrated Idol in Nigeria, the beginning of the doom. We have a reasonable leader who are not corrupt. They've been here. Moritola Mohammed, for one, he tried to erase every parliament written by the British to control the people of Nigeria. Do we begin to remind ourselves about how the British Bank was changed to New Nigerian Bank? Do we begin to talk about how British Petroleum were changed to African Petroleum, to mention but a few? He was killed. We have seen good men and women before now. And in as much as I would partially agree that bad leaders are part of the problem we are facing in Nigeria, every component member nation that makes up, trapped inside this concession, this idea called one Nigeria, must have it at the back of their mind. Even angel from heaven cannot govern Nigeria, because there are a lot of areas we are removing our attention from. We've suffered greatly because of this issue. And somebody feels somewhere along the line, let's move on. Let's just forget about it. We can do it better. But whatever stand you have made this moment, don't forget we have but a very single lifetime. What we do with it is very important. And so our people must understand what Biafra really means. A lot of people have defrauded our people. A lot of people have sworn on the wings of blackmail and deception, and it is still ongoing. They lie to you and they tell you rubbish. Now understand, your ability to confront the truth will exonerate your people from the pending doom and danger. Calamity that must surely befell all of us, whether we are here or we are not here. Somebody who is close to us will pay for it one way or the other. And that is why in a time like this, we must, against all odds, irrespective of whose oath is God, tell ourselves the truth. And then whatever happens after then, we will know that yes, we did our best. If it's good enough, fine. If it's not good enough, fine. Let's come back. What does Biafra mean to us? When we talk about Biafra, what should be in the mind of every other slave trapped inside Nigeria? Very important. Have to forget, do you know how many people that have died because of Biafra? My brother, we must be able to set our priority right. People have died because of Biafra. It becomes a genuine reason why this agitation for the restoration of Biafra must continue. Yes, people have died. How do they die? Why did they die? You blame it on these people who have the right to self-determination, despite the fact that it's God's given right, despite the fact that those who kept us here acknowledge our right to self-determination. As United Nations, they are aware of what we are asking for. After all, we were a people before we were created by the British government, the power that be, in collaboration with all the colonial master. We were a people. Who were we? Who were we? Or we just, like somewhere along the line, we never existed. They manufactured us from one lab and we became Nigeria. Let's stop deceiving ourselves, for God's sake. Some people say, oh, people have died because of Biafra. I'm not disputing it. Many more will even have to die because of this Biafra. Because the true genuine spirit of that Biafra is rising. Just a little effort to harmonize the whole process. People have died because of Biafra. The same way people have died because of Nigeria. And if we have to jettison Biafra because people have died, why don't we jettison Nigeria? Because it has killed so many of our people. Maybe you begin to get it. Some say they cannot walk, it cannot walk. Then let everybody go his separate way. But that word Biafra, it means more than you can anticipate. We all have different view and opinion regarding Biafra, considering the fact that there are people who are hell-bent to destroy this legacy, to destroy everything about this Biafra. Some out of ignorance, some out of revenge, some out of criminality, and so much. But then, each time the issue of Biafra is discussed, those of you from the Niger Delta must understand one simple truth. It is only the restoration of Biafra that will give you access to your resource control. You want to control the resources in your land? It is the inventory, the rebirth of Biafra that will give you that access. Without that, all of you open your eyes clearly, you will see your life is taking over from you already. As I am talking to you right now, I am in a very far end of the Atlantic Ocean. Somewhere in the creek. I won't mention the name of the particular island for you. Man, I tell you, the population of Hausa youth inside this creek is amazing. They are even threatening the owners of this community. I won't mention their name now. But all of you in the creek, all of you in different waterways, all of you in different islands within the Niger Delta region, please, after this broadcast, take a look around you. You are surrounded already. I've been there now almost 4 days, and in some of the discussion, one Hausa boy was giving order to supposedly collaboration, to supposedly Okreka son, to supposedly Ijo son. And now only God knew where he come from. Was harassing and intimidating everybody. He came to collect marching grant. And I was so pissed off, I couldn't contain it any longer. And I asked the boy, which money are you collecting? Which money are you collecting? He saw that the spirit I was coming with, he cannot contain it. He said, but I know they talk to you now. I know they talk to you now. And the man that came with me said, let's leave here. Why did he say we should leave? Because even the owners of the land have been beaten to submission. They can't do anything. The only thing the boy could tell me, if I want you to say, I be Niger Delta, he go call General for me. But then, I look at supposedly my fellow Niger Delta brothers. All of them look like beggar. All of them look like beggar. Therefore, God knows where Fulani come from. You see, it is going to continue that way. Bit by bit, they are taking over our land. And so if Biafra does not mean anything to you, I think to be the author of your destiny should mean something to you. It doesn't matter who you want to be. I don't want to call name yet. I don't want to point out to anybody yet. Except you bring out yourself, then we respond to you. Your life is taken from you already. There are a lot of things that happen there. And if I continue to tour on that path, I will end this broadcast there. So let's leave it. To control your resources, the Bill of Rights, as the case may be, the Niger Delta Republic, at this moment, it is tied to Biafra restoration. Call Biafra, everybody find his way. And if this union must continue, there must be a platform to renegotiate, or else it's okay. And so when I talk about Biafra, don't judge me by your own concept or idea, because though we are many, but yet we are one. Forget about what we are going through, but there is a process to our liberation, and that process is what is going on now. This transformation going on, but some has misunderstood the whole process, and now to them it's money making. Ratimatized our people, and you see, when I come on air, I tell you what your ancient ear want to hear, and then you hail me, you applaud me. No. We go to the Yorubas. What does Biafra mean to you? Yoruba, have Biafra killed you? Yoruba, have Biafra taken over any of your community? Yoruba, have Biafra challenged you in any way? We have tried to live by the principle and the dignity our father taught us. We have tried in many ways to prove to you we are not against you. You see this danger. But somewhere along the line, the resources from Biafra land must be used to develop all your region. The same way the resources from Biafra land must be used to develop Britain. And why the people wallow in abject poverty? And somewhere along the line, I call it 10%. Because of this share, you keep quiet. Now the danger is coming. Biafra remain your only last defense outpost. We are not asking you to come out openly. Support this process because it has metamorphosed. It is coming in different dimension. Forget about all these businessmen you are seeing today. Their time is up. They are only trying to call it relevant. They have sold us already, and it is game over for all of them. Yoruba, get this truth in your mind. You know Nigeria is not workable. Your founding father, Obafemi Awolowo, made it clear. Nigeria is like oil and water that cannot miss. Now, the terrorists in different form and shape, both Fulani, Boko Haram, foreigners, Biafran terrorists, different terrorists, including Oduduwa terrorists, all of them are going to descend on the church. And the church are not ready. But let me tell you what is going to happen. The Northerners may be in charge of religious affairs, but Yoruba control more than 90% financial income coming from the church. The Huigoda Memory Lane, Deeper Life belong to Kumuyi, Redeem belong to Adeboye, Mountain of Fire belong to Odukoya, and Winners Chapel belongs to what is his name? We begin to call all of them. And so all the mega churches, aside people like David Ebiomie and Choosing, Umokai, and then OPM, the rest belong to Yoruba. And let me tell you, the easiest entrepreneur company to stop, because church give money more than oil company, is the church. What happened in Owo? They are sweeping it under the carpet because it's going to expose some people. But more evil may come. Just 3 strikes, nobody will go to church again.
but the mosque will still be in session. Yoruba, if you love God, support Ninas, support the people you feel they are doing the right thing. Support Igboho if he's fighting for division. Oduduwa nation, let us call it off. Because we have suffered enough. We have paid the price for a crime we've not committed. Somewhere along the line, somebody need to stand up and say enough is enough. And this is the time. Understand we have been pushed to the wall. There is no place to fall back to again. And you understand what the law of physics say. You understand what the next repercussion of every action is going to be. The system is almost ripe for taking. And so when Biafra comes, Yoruba can develop their land. Yoruba can dream of becoming greater and larger than life itself. But in this Nigeria, the only thing you can gain is to feed on the expense of the people of Biafra. But it's not going to be for a long time. And so to you, Oduduwa nation, see Biafra as the invent, the emerging of a new dawn for your people. Let us call off this union. I go to the Arewa. The Hausas are gone. The history of Nigeria, I think I saw only one Hausa man, Tafawa Balewa. Where is he? How did he die? You can push it to Igbo man. You can move it. But the last time I checked, your life as an Hausa man has been taken over from the Fulani. I respect you as an Hausa man. You are indigenous in Nigeria, unquote. But the Fulanis are not. And then when all of us sit here, with your level of intelligence, exposure, connection, as Biafran, as Oduduwa, as Arewa, and you see the people who are ruling you, completely emasculate you, subjugate you by constitution. Only God knows where it came from. And somewhere along the line, you think they went that far to cage us this way? No. Hausa, save yourself. Save yourself. There are things you can do. There are a lot of empires, the Hausa empires that existed. Your very peak of civilization. It's there from time immemorial. This is the time for you to rise up to greatness. Nigeria will destroy everything that is genuine in us. We can't let it happen. Fulani, you will not win this war. We have seen the victory you have attained to. But you can't win this war. You can't win this war. And so, to all of you, Biafra means different things. And then you have the other group, the merchandise, the entrepreneur. It is all about money. They are the one that understand the true meaning of Biafra. But what do? It is money. It is money. It is money. Any small thing, they call for fundraising. And most of you are tired already. You cannot make any contribution. And then if it happens now, what will be the excuse? You are tired. You have been defrauded. You can imagine, as intelligent as you are anywhere in the world, you are coming to tell us, oh, that Finland have recognized us. Is he creating awareness? Oh, who did this to us? Now the Kanu and his family, the ones in Nigeria, they are cooling off in Abuja. And it's motivating most of you to destroy Igbo land. Sit at home. And you sit at home. Sit at home. What does Biafra mean to you? You must find out. I will leave it at that. The next thing you should be looking out for in the coming months is the issue of insecurity. Insecurity will continue to increase. Nigeria has eventually initiated a process they cannot control. It started by arming youth to snatch ballot paper. I'm not looking at the eras of the military where you have coup d'etat and the rest of it. And then you have some group of politicians, all of them are retired general, only God know where they serve. And then they imported mercenaries to make for instance, they've always been there, but they need way to come up, making the government ungovernable for Goodluck Ebere Jonathan, gave birth to the new escalated terrorism in Nigeria. They've always been there before now. And so what is insecurity? Watch out for insecurity. There are people who make money there. The people who initiated the process can't control it any longer. Whether it is from the federal government of Nigerian politicians, whether it is from Biafra agitation like Nnamdi Kanu, whether it is the politicians who are there to have talks and boy to do their bidding, one thing is clear. All of them have lost control of over 75% of their mercenaries. And you see, regarding the issue of insecurity, nobody can beat his hand on the chest and said, I can stop insecurity. It is too late. Nobody. But it can be managed. It can be managed. And to manage it, we all need to go back to the drawing board. Find out where it all began. And then you will see the solution is standing right beside the very moment it was introduced. On every front, it's going to get worse. We're looking at the issue of Ike Kuremado. I don't want to look into it, but I have to say my mind. No matter what they say there, the reason we talk about killing our people is because we have discovered, even before the eras of Raphael Wazurike and the Peter Obi and the Mozop in the name of this Biafra, we knew they were harvesting people's organ, because most of those people supposedly thrown in Uzu River and they pour acid in their body, none of them have kidney, none of them have liver. We have seen grave sites under IPOB during protest, unmarked graves. One thing is unique. The dead body we don't have access to, they are not complete. There are rumors that some people carry cooler with ice block around. And how much do they sell one kidney? How much do they sell one liver? And then, when kidnapper kidnap you, your people cannot pay ransom. They have the contact details of those who will buy your liver and kidney. Don't you hear such information on social media? Some of them will even collect ransom for you, still harvest your organ and sell them off. The rich are harvesting your organ to keep them healthy. The poor like you are harvesting your organ to make them rich. And then opportunists, instead of you to die for nothing, they gain from your death. That is one area of insecurity we are talking about. Indiscriminate killing. It will continue. Most people within our land now, Biafra land, you can't use good motor, most especially in the southeast. You can't build houses anymore. When you come home now, you wear slippers and pants sandal. You wear short knicker and you look for OK or Kerekapolo and then you put on just to disguise. Amandia Nezi. It's not going to come down. From where it started, we must go back there. What do I mean by that? For instance, Biafran land politicians know where they introduce criminality into the community. They cannot run away from it because see, the vision, the revelation are very clear. It doesn't need interpretation. It look like today, look at Biafra agitation. When China Sanwo-Olu come on air, he will tell you the people they are going to kill. He knows the name of all the bad gang, every bad boy in each community. And he calls their name and the next day they kill them. And he tell you he's safeguarding our land. No, they can't control the process anymore. Many of them are on a vengeful mission. They will stop at nothing. They want a pound of flesh, and that they will get in the end. But you don't know what is happening. You will get involved. If you can't obey, it is going to affect all of us in the end. It is happening in the north. We think it's a coincidence. The attack on Southern Kaduna, the attack on Plateau State, the misplacement of Gwari people, the Nupe people, and the rest of them. Now, let me tell you, if you go to certain communities in Benue State now, the Igbo communities there, they are being ransacked. They have chased many of the communities away. The record is not here at this moment. I would have mentioned the name of those communities. As I'm talking to you about 4 days ago, the information that got to me is that they have all run from their village, and God knows where these Fulani headsmen are coming from. They are now vandalizing their homes. Carry their iron door, remove their zinc, carry their plates, all those metal. What do you think they are doing with it? They are using it to manufacture bullets. You think it's knife and cutlass alone? No. The leaders will not tell you the truth, because some of this truth will make you to be afraid. But what do they do? Most of them are innocent. Most of them are accomplices. And in a situation like this, everybody has become a suspect. You can't get the truth. But we must get ready for the impact. You must be ready. Each time we keep doing what we are doing, this is because we know this evil cannot be controlled by anybody. It cannot stop, except the people know the truth. They can be able to arrest the situation. But how will they know the truth when they have made up their mind to live in lie and deception? How will they know the truth if you don't tell them, you that know the truth? It's a complicated situation, but get ready. It's not going to end with the poor alone. It is going to get to the rich. It's going to meet the Onyuku and Onyenta. Nobody will escape. And then, lastly, we look at the issue of Peter Obi. I have said it repeatedly. I'm not a politician. In 100 lifetimes, I don't intend to get involved. But then, I cannot antagonize those who are doing that, because my faith says we should support the government of the day, that it is God who put them there. But because God put them there does not mean that most of them has abandoned the will of God and or do not even recognize God, and they are doing their own will. I understand. And so those who are leading, I can only pray they do the right thing. We are on another era. And I love the write-up coming from our brother Diokpa Uchuka from Mefo. He said he was giving credit to Peter Obi and said even though in the end Peter Obi did not win, let this also be on record. That is the aspect I accept there greatly, because this is how it's going to be. There are informations. There are plans already. Tinubu may be the next president of Nigeria. And you see, his double will be waiting. But then, it's a conspiracy theory. And so maybe after listening to this, they say, oh, these people have known. It cannot be Tinubu. And then they give it to Atiku. And then, maybe at the end of the day, they say the way Nigerian youth are standing in solidarity with Peter Obi, if we do our plan, it may not work out well. Let's change. And they allow Peter Obi to come there. We cannot think that it's just winning election. We should also get ready, begin to gather the momentum, begin to gather the capacity, begin to gather what it will take you to defend that man there. Because they will rubbish him. He may have very clean record, but you never know anything. Let me digress a little bit. Michael Jackson, as handsome as he is, whether as a black man or as a white man, he's a handsome guy. He had many cases about rape, assault, sexual harassment. He spent billions there. And then you look at Mike Tyson. His fame was so high. They call him Iron Mike Tyson. He has money to throw around for any woman and get them. But he has a lot of cases in the court, sexual harassment. And then you look at Bobby Brown. You look at LL Cool J. Let's mention but a few. All of them have issue of sexual harassment. Even Clinton, all of them have issue of sexual harassment. And now why don't you begin to ask themselves this question? You that is reporting or suing a president for harassing you sexually, are you okay? Because I want to believe that outside morality, outside being genuine, almost every woman will want the president to be their boyfriend or side chick or whatever. How do they call them? And then you are the one taking president to the court. Is harassing you sexually. You carry good, but let's leave it at that. Most of these things are set up. They are set up. In other words, even if at the end, they cannot manipulate. Peter Obi may have a fight, which I want to believe. Let your mind be there. It doesn't matter you are from the north, you are from the west, you are from the east, you are in support of Peter Obi. The real battle is when he comes in there. Make sure you are there. If Goodluck did not have the support of his people, if Goodluck Ebere Jonathan did not apply his heart to reasoning, by now, maybe he will suffer the fate of Iburi. Go and ask Uduaga. Maybe you will understand better. But this having been said, those of you who are supporting Peter Obi, stand your ground. Understand there is harassment coming already. You look at the INEC, some areas, Muslims are stopping you as a Christian from registering. Some area, they are frustrating you with delayed taxes and so on and so forth. We've seen it before. We're going to see a lot of politics upon politics upon politics. But which way to go? I support the process. I support the revolution. But I cannot come out and pretend as if I do not know what Nigerian constitution says about winning presidential election in Nigeria. And I cannot tell you I don't know the position of Peter Obi. And I cannot pretend to tell you I don't know what Nigeria want now. Nigerians are tired of all these rulers, all these general, Jagaban. Nigerians are tired of them. But you see, we fight emotionally, we fight sentimentally, we fight deceptionist, we fight for selfishness and greed, we fight to protect our interest against the interest of even our own unborn children. And now maybe you begin to get it. It is not over, not until it's over. Why we believe in that men and women will rise up in the nearest future and bring about a revolution that have the capacity to liberate everyone, giving us that avenue to be the author of our destiny. We cannot pull back. Most of us now, we are talking PVC. Of course, I encourage you tonight, go and get your PVC. I've said it in my last broadcast. I cannot tell you the reason why I am not there. But then, that is the best thing to do. My children who are up to the age have their PVC. They go and exercise their fundamental human rights without disenfranchising themselves by themselves. But I have an issue which is not meant for you to understand. Well, get your PVC. Let us see how it's going to be. A new history is about to open. Those of you fighting for pulling down Constitution of Nigeria, do not relent. Because even with Peter Obi as the president of the universe, with the 1999 Constitution harassing all of us, he's not going anywhere. The Fulani agenda is on the increase. And so these are the areas you must not fight emotionally. Don't fight sentimentally. Pay attention there and begin to get ready. Ability to improvise, very necessary, very important. And those of you agitating, stop selling your people. We already know the truth. I will stop here this evening. We'll continue to watch. We are Biafran watchmen. We are not going anywhere. We'll continue watching. Your opinion, your views does not matter to us. But you see, this truth we know. This truth we know. We're not going anywhere until the right thing is done. And so genuine people, people of conscience, trapped inside this idea, one Nigeria unquote. Let's save the next generation. They've just increased the price of fuel. Diesel now is unapproachable. When there is rainfall, your telecommunication system does not work. Your electric platform does not work. Once there is light, in fact, if bird perch on top of our electric pole, 1 month you may not see electricity in a modern day like this. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Let's help ourselves. Only the truth can set us free. There are many audios that would have played in support of this very discussion this evening, but we'll leave it for another day. We need to go home. We need to review this union. It needs to be redefined. I remain George ONYIBE, and I sign off from here, even as I still appreciate men and women of goodwill, people of conscience. Those of you, you're confused, but yet you have a good man. I thank you. Most of you, you are not Nigerians, you are not Biafrans, but you identify with us in this struggle. I thank you. Most of you, you are a hardcore Biafra. And you are still giving, even when you look very stupid for supporting this process, you continue doing it. We thank you. We thank you. Good morning from here. We're still watching. Do what you can and leave the rest for God. Make sure you do the right thing. Ndewonu. Ndewonu.